Hello, Moongang, or shall I say, in today's video, my Saturn's next initiatives. Welcome. We are all gathered here today, not by choice, but through transit, and we will be experiencing what is today's video, which is Aries Saturn return through the houses. Hello, my name is Haley Delgado. I have my entire chart aspecting Saturn. I'm a Capricorn ascendant. I have Saturn in my 4th house. Welcome. I have 10th house placements as well. So I feel so passionate about this subject. This is why I'm choosing to do the Aries Saturn return breakdown through the 12 houses as opposed to Saturn return through all the signs. I feel like I'm really meant to hone in on the Aries Saturn individuals here today. Whenever you're watching this, it is timeless. You can even 50 years from now look back at your Aries Saturn return and be like, yo, yeah, no, that was a ride. So today's video, the breakdown, is going to be just some general fun facts about Saturn and information about Saturn, and then the Saturn return itself. And then we are going to just dive into the 12 signs. And then I am going to do not pay attention to the lipstick on my chair. There is makeup like everywhere in my room. I'm a Leo Venus. I get a little messy when creating, but as you can see as my my hand has pen mark. I do want to pull the astro dice as well and just roll the astro dice after each house and give you a specific message. You can either take the signs as the important people that are going to be playing an important role in your Saturn returns over the next 2 years. And I'm also going to just interpret if there's any confirmations of anything that I go over, because each and every person's chart is so nuanced with different angles, aspects, rulers, degrees, things like that. I really like to play with chance and probability with these. And then that is it. That is today's video. So before we go ahead and get started, I would just like to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. It means the absolute world to me. I hope that whether you're doing laundry or doing yoga or cleaning or doing your makeup, that I either make you laugh or you learn more about yourself. That's my goal. We have a strong community on Instagram over it's called At My Moon Girl Readings on Tumblr, Instagram, now YouTube. So we're building our community here. So if you came on along and you like what you see, please feel free to subscribe. It's free. And if you want to enjoy more free content where we learn about who we are, go ahead and join. Everyone here is sick. Everyone here is kind. And if they're not, we don't let that get to us either. We really are a strong heartbeat, I think, of the astrology community. Yeah, I said it. So let's go ahead and just get started. So I did write some post-it notes. I have my North Node in Virgo, so really trying not to just wing it with my magic, like my South Node in Pisces. I actually want to make sure that we go over as much as we can, because y'all don't even know how often I will write a post or answer Q&As or film a video and I'm like, I should have said that. Like, I feel like punching the camera, metaphorically. I'm like, dang, I should have said that. So my Virgo North Node's gonna write some things down. So what is Saturn? So Saturn is one of the social planets alongside Jupiter, and Saturn is also connected to 3D energy. So planets that are connected to 3D energy would be Mercury, Venus, and Saturn. These 3 planets really, really love Earth. They love earthly energies. They love contracts. They love measurements. They love linear time. They love writing. They love the steps and a process and results. and simplicity, right? So all of those planets tend to simplify things that allows it to make sense on Earth. What Saturn does, Saturn is a refiner, right? So all three of those planets do refine. Mercury refines by putting things into a way in which not only they understand what you're saying, but they're able to cultivate a message of what they want to say and people want to listen. Venus typically refines through beauty, refines through art, things like that, being able to create based off of what we're feeling or inspired by. And then Saturn really refines through seeing things clearly, being basically the anchor in chaos, being the refiner that refines rough edges and refines through practice over time. What you put into Saturn, you will get out. I will repeat that for all the fear-mongering Saturn content out there. Please know Saturn is very, very fair. Saturn feels exalted in the sign of Libra, meaning that it does not just feel at home in Libra, it actually benefits from being in Libra the most out of any sign. And that is because Libra is connected to the scales, right? Venus, Libra, you kind of see where I'm going with this. They're all really connected. So with Saturn, what we will put in, we will get out. Saturn is connected to karma. It is the planet of karma. So I would like to have this video be one of those videos that views Saturn as very neutral. Saturn can be known as a malefic, especially, in older, I guess, writings, teachings about Saturn. It is one of the malefic planets. However, it is a planet of just rewards. It is a planet of rewards. And it can be either, we repeat the cycle, we repeat the patterns, we repeat the lesson. And if we choose to repeat the same karma again and again and again, and we don't react differently, we don't choose differently, we don't choose to put any work in, that is truly, I think, the malefic part of Saturn, right? We can get very stuck in the 3D earthly karmic patterns if we choose to do work. If we, and that's just karma, right? It is the intentions and actions and whatever we put out, we're going to get that right back. So that is how we break Saturn, where we want to act differently. We want to react differently. We want to do things differently. So the other thing about Saturn, linear time. Saturn works on linear time. It is not Uranus. I love Uranus. We love Uranus, right? We've talked about Uranus all over on my Instagram like so many times. And I do love Uranus. It's 5D energy. Neptune, 5D energy, right? But Saturn is 3D. So when we want growth with Saturn, it will very much come in a very traditional manner. It's going to come day by day. So this is much like I put an analogy for linear time with Saturn being training for the Olympics, right? We got to put in work every single day, right? Or have a schedule, keep ourselves accountable in order to see results, right? If we go to the gym 12 times a year and we're like, dang, why don't I have my bubble butt? Why am I not snatched? Why aren't my muscles showing? And it's, you will get out what you put in. So, and then it is known as the main life lesson on Earth. You want the main life lesson, just look at Saturn. Keywords will come from the degree, the sign, and the house that Saturn is in. That is the main life lesson. And then the Saturn is very much, I also like to use this analogy, aging like fine wine. Whatever area of life we have Saturn in, whatever sign it's in, whatever degree it's in, no matter what it's aspecting, Saturn, because it refines, we do age with like fine wine in whatever area of life. If it's not connected to your looks, it'll be connected to that area of life. It is the underdog placement. To me, Saturn is the hero's journey, which to me is the human archetype for humanity. And with that being said, Saturn can be where we experience delays, obstacles, right? And we're meant to really push through. This is why Mars is exalted in Capricorn, because if Saturn's how we push our boundaries, that's pretty powerful. And Mars represents destroying all obstacles in our way, right? Aries can do this with just that raw momentum. Scorpio can do this because it's personal to them and they won't budge once they're stubborn. And Capricorn does this because Capricorn knows that as long as they keep getting up, trying, putting in the work, that they're using the universal law on their side, which I think is so cool, inevitably destroying all obstacles. So that being said, let's talk about the Saturn return. Saturn return usually happens around your 30s, right? When you turn 30, right? So this is typically a time universally where in society, even without them knowing about Saturn return, it's a really prominent time. It's lots of movies about it, 13 going on 30, lots of episodes. There's a famous Friends episode about turning 30. 30 is when we have our Saturn return, that's when we astrologically become an adult. This is astrologically when we mature. This is a lot like the Judgment card in tarot. This is a lot like Judgment Day. And during this time, karma will be restored a lot too. So, if you've been somebody who's been very Saturn ruled all your life, you have Capricorn placements, you have Aquarius placements, you have Libra placements, you have a lot of 10th degree placements, a lot of 22nd degree placements, you have Saturn aspecting a lot of your chart, you have, what would be something else? Saturn in a very prominent place, conjunct an angle, conjunct a planet, being your chart ruler, like a Capricorn rising. Do know, and this can even apply if you have Saturn in a sign of debilitation or fall, like Leo or Aries, right? I think it is Leo, because Aquarius, the opposite would be Leo, and then it would be Libra, or no, it would be Aries, and then what's the other one? Cancer. Right? So even if you have Saturn in a sign that it naturally struggles to emulate energy there, and by the way, there are huge underrated gifts with fallen and debilitated or detriment placements, because they're the opposite side of the coin. And that is a type of power that is very, very niche. And maybe I'll do a separate video on that, because I love to stand up for all the underdog placements. My investigative Mercury in the 8th house in Leo's pride is too high sometimes when it comes to hearing people completely just write off a placement as 100% bad, or, things like that, because astrology is an equal math. Everything adds up. Everything has an opposite. So that being said, if you have struggled with your Saturn, you're very Saturn ruled, when a Saturn return comes, tends to be when the trial energy is over, when the front loading of our karma tends to way simmer down. It has been worked through. This is when a lot of karmic justice comes into play. So certain things about being very Saturn ruled is, growing up and having to mature from a really young age, having to be the sober one, the responsible one, the light in the dark, the pillar of strength, the parent, the mother, the father, the provider, having to work hard. And sometimes when that happens with Saturn, one of the shadow aspects is very much just like Mercury and Venus, we can get bounded to Earth, right? And we can be stuck in a cycle where we are attached or we are with like Venus, it would be the shadow would be attachment to the things of this earth, and we leave without anything on this earth. And so Mercury would be, being a slave to your mind, right? When we can regain control of our mind. And then Saturn would be the shadowy aspect of being bounded to earth, would be staying in the same place, just working a job just to work hard, but not allowing ourselves to feel like we are worth the elevation, we're worth the linear climb. We can really get stuck in just being a hard worker or having a lot of responsibility fall on our chest, and we can self-sacrifice our wants, our needs, our life, right? So we don't want to let life pass us by. But that is something that could happen when we are put into survival mode, when we front load our karma. And it is for us to age like fine wine, to front load of a lot of our lessons, to get the strength, get the determination, get the willpower, get certain things that are so, so, so powerful on earth. It is a tit for tat. It is a trade. I would even say, it's kind of like a trade with the devil. I mean, the devil card in tarot is connected to Capricorn energy. Work hard, play hard. When we make that deal. And I don't view the devil as like I don't put him on a pedestal, right? You know what I mean? He has hooves, he has a horn, he is the shadow of earth, right? And it's like, when we start from the bottom and like we're going to front load our karma, there's a certain amount of discipline that we have to have to release that too, and then be able to walk in the direction of dignity, walk in the direction of light, live a sober life, aim for more success and all our goals, like really allowing ourselves to reach that potential. We have infinite potential once we have the tools, right? And we have the wisdom and the experience under our belt. So that being said, that is Saturn. That is the Saturn return. Let us go ahead and work through this. So the kind of how I wanted to do this video too, now that we're going to dive into Saturn through all 12 signs. I just saw 17 on the clock. And so let's do this. Let me drink my water. Okay, so Saturn return in Aries. If you have Aries Saturn in your first house, so this just applies to people with Aries Saturn, by the way. If you have Aries at the 13th degree or the first degree or the 25th degree, then I would say this could apply to you. And so now that we have that out of the way, I'm officially going to start Saturn return in Aries through the 12 houses. Let's get it. Let's go. So how are Aries Saturn in the first house going to burn bright? So this is a time, and especially with Neptune here, this is a very different type of Saturn return for us. It's magical. Oh, and I love it because Aries is the warrior, right? And when Saturn, it's like we put our head down, like we were nose to the grindstone, like warrior. I think this is really when things are going to be boundless in terms of potential. So this is reclaiming authority, authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to your physical body, in regards to the way you view life, your viewpoint on life. Our perspective changes everything, right? Perspectives unlocking that will allow for a different path, a new path to be followed. Authenticity when you greet people, when you meet people, people's first impressions. It's an honoring of self, right? Complete sovereignty in how you dress, in feeling good in your body. This is a revitalization in your physical body. This is a better relationship with our physical body. This can be a huge revamp or change of our physical body in some way, shape, or form. We're talking working out. We're talking procedures. We're talking health. We're talking hair, fashion, tattoos. We're also talking about identity. So finding out about your human design, finding out about your color analysis, finding out about your numerology, finding out about your gene keys, astrology, anything you can do to develop sense of self more, you will feel like you are closer to yourself. And when we have that great relationship with ourself, we can differentiate our opinions versus others. We really can live an authentic path and not people please. And we have strong boundaries, right? And truly, with this too, we're allowing ourselves to burn bright in general. In general, this when we have a first house placements or first house transits, a karmic new beginning is happening. So we are guaranteed a karmic new beginning when we have first house placements, whatever sign our ascendant is, whatever the ruler is, right? And that being said, this can be a karmic new beginning with owning the full spectrum of your power, not hiding it behind closed doors. This is one of the most public houses. You are meant to leave an impact on people when you meet them. They are meant to see your fashion, your style, the words you say, the way you carry yourself, your demeanor, and say, that person has a good sense of who they are. And that's your power. And so that is what we have for the first house. The only other thing I might say is with that, it could also be a last name, right? So our name, like I got Moon Girl tattooed on me many years ago now. I would say like 3 years ago now. And people had been calling me that since 2021, I want to say. And it was just a nickname, and it's become such a big part of my identity. I don't know what I would do without Moon Girl, right? Or I started telling people at Starbucks, whenever I go to Starbucks, I always use my middle name over my first name. And it's just something that I have my middle name. I'm named after my grandma on my mom's side. And whenever I want to connect with her energy or activate the gifts, the karma, the love, the power from her in terms of like that part of my lineage, I sit in that energy when I do that. So it's just, whatever we want to do in terms of developing a larger sense of self and staying true to our own identity, staying true to ourself, that'll be coming up. So we will be developing discipline. That's the other kind of side of each of these signs that I'm going to be doing. So developing discipline, we're refining anger, shadows of selfishness, and impulsive behaviors or choices or actions in regards to when we meet people, in regards to what we start, what we begin, just overall identity wise. Like out of all the houses, the first house is the house that really, like, we may not want to be known as an impulsive person. We may not want to be known as an angry person. We may not want to be known as, a selfish person, a reactive person, an impatient person, right? So since the first house is like karmic new beginnings with embodying this, that's what's going to be refined, right? So, and then it's also like if we have anger within us, if we are being reactive because we're not taking action towards what we really want, that can holistically too show up in other ways connected to our mood, connected to our physical symptoms, right? Our overall energy that we are emulating out. So that's what I would say with the first house. And we're discovering a lot of potential in starting something new. This can be a lot of discipline around once we start something, we want to be able to finish it out. That is also something to be noted with Saturn and Aries, is we could start, but finishing all the way through, that is like a shadow side of the cardinal, right? Like cardinal go after what they want, and the carry out by Timbaland just went into my head, and I am not going to entertain that thought. So that is the first house. Let's go ahead, actually, before we get into the second house, roll the dice for you. All right, we got the North Node in Virgo in the 8th house. Yeah, I feel like we're refining our power in terms of how we're speaking to other people. And I actually have this placement natally. That's really funny. This is also becoming very discerning, right? And please don't feel the pressure of if you see all these things about Aries and they're just always like criminals or like up to naughty things, or on roller coasters all the time and just fast fast fast. Like, it is very much a stereotype. Aries are just who they are. I've met so many chill, quiet, homebody Aries. So I think this is just that, like, having discernment around our private life versus like how we're speaking and what we're speaking. I think the weight of your words could really, really influence and carry. And then as far as signs that are going to be very prominent for you in terms of other people in your life through your Saturn return, Virgo and Scorpio. And if they have a North Node in the 8th house or a North Node in Virgo, there you go. So moving on to the 2nd house. This is going to be Saturn through the 2nd house. We're going to be burning bright, reclaiming authority, authenticity, gaining sovereignty in regards to our self-confidence, our self-worth, our values, our attachment styles, our love styles, our habits, our relationship with money, our relationship with luxury, our relationship with deservingness, as well as being in the present moment, and also who we're connected to, what we're connected to, as well as our skills. So lots of different things there, and our assets. So a little bit about that. This can be like if we want to be financially independent, like finances is a huge umbrella for this, right? So we're talking financial independence, we're talking financial sovereignty, we're talking great relationship with money, right? We are not afraid to look at our bank account. We are knowing what bills we have. We're not sweeping anything under the rug. We're paying things on time. Saturn is a very much making sure your ducks are in a row, right? So our investments, our savings, paying the bills, different avenues of making money. This also is taking care of our physical possessions. So second housers tend to be the clean ones, right? Or the tidy ones, or having a rhyme for the reason if they do live in a more eclectic house, or, like that vibe. So self-grooming, taking a lot of consideration into how we upkeep ourselves, our hygiene, right? Which is also our bathroom, our room, our apartment, our car, our jewelry, our teeth, our eyes, our hair, right? So these are the assets to us that allow for us to be able to anchor more beauty into our life, take better care of ourselves, look good, feel good, be able to experience pleasure in life. And then I would also say, just attachment styles, our values are getting reshaped. I have to do a story time on Saturn moving through my 2nd house. It was the most insane transit ever. But our values could be changing. So if you're waking up like, you know what, I don't value this anymore. It's just not worth my time. It's not worth the investment. I'm not getting back what I'm putting in. Time to weed out. Speaking of weeding out, the other side of the coin with Saturn, we are going to be developing discipline, weeding out anything that doesn't serve, as well as refining anger in regards to these topics, regarding any shadows of selfishness in regards to these topics, refining and developing discipline if we have impulsive or reactive behaviors with this area of life, and we're cultivating patience with this area of life. And We are going to be refining so that we get results that we want in this area of life. This is a karmic new beginning for our soul. So there could be a karmic new beginning in regards to the money you're making in this lifetime. This is a very, very, very important time if you have Saturn in your second house natally and it's returning there. So this is also a generational curse breaker indicator with money, right? In some way, shape, or form, you could be doing things differently than your ancestors or following out or carrying through, breaking a cycle. That being said, I mean, that's kind of it. I think that was pretty good across. Like, for example, if we have like any bitterness, like based off of what we have, right? It's like cultivating gratitude and really putting in the time and work to make our things look nice, to make that call, whether it's time to sell, to downgrade, to upgrade, to, when we like take control of our assets, of the things that we own, of ourself, and we really spruce things up, there's a better flow of energy. I mean, that's feng shui, right? The intention behind, where we set things and how we are arranging things, our assets. So, that's what I have to say about that. We're discovering our potential here in regards to money, in regards to our self-worth, and it's very holistic. Like when we choose ourself, old clothes tend to go. When we, have better habits, like more things come in. That's Lent, right? Like giving up something for 40 days. Like when we make space for new, the universe can give us more, can upgrade us, right? And I just saw 3111 when I said that. So maybe it's time to donate. Maybe it's time to upgrade, downgrade, and no, not downgrade, but like downsize. Like, for example, I used to knock on doors for real estate for years of my life, and I would just talk to people about whether they wanted to upsize or downsize. And there's a lot of older couples that or even families with children that don't want the 2-story house because they don't want to deal with the stairs, or this house has too many steps, so they will just downsize to something that's more comfortable, like a 1-story, or so if we have too much that's on our plate, like simplifying our life in general is really, really big with the second house. So I'm going to roll your guys' astro dice. Let's go ahead and see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have Capricorn. So these are the signs that could be playing an important role in your life during your Saturn return. So Capricorn placements, as well as Gemini placements, or if somebody has Neptune in Capricorn, specifically in the 3rd house. I would say Neptune in Capricorn as well, even though there's a large amount of us that have that. Why not? That's what I see. And then other than that, like an additional message confirmation. I feel like this is really thinking about the luxuries of life and like the dream life in which you wish to live. And Capricorn's like, I want to put in the work. I want to see results. I want the money. I want the do-re-mi. I want the car. I want it all, right? And this can really be like with partnerships too. Like when we advance our values, right? When we value people, when we value ourselves, right? That's when we get the pretty girls who's pretty at everything. Y'all know that song. Shout out. Okay, so moving on, we have Saturn return in Aries in the 3rd house. Welcome. We are now friends. I have this placement in place. It is. This is going to be a 2-year period where we are learning to burn bright, reclaim authority, reclaim authenticity, and gain sovereignty in regards to our voice, in regards to our mindset, in regards to our freedom of expression, just pure expression, right? This is also going to be friendships. This is also going to be siblings. This is also going to be publishing, putting stuff out there, projects, even just creative expression. We're writing poetry, whatever your jam is in terms of expression. Anything can be a form of expression, right? So really awesome time to write a book, really awesome time to work on that album. This could be a lot of the behind the scenes of developing a lot of great projects, of collaborating too. There could be karmic collaborations, people that we're meant to meet with, so our mind becomes a place where we have a different mindset, where our voice, right, we get the confidence to be brave about our voice because of certain people we may be meeting, doing a little domino effect where the only person's opinion that we care about ourselves, or that we're in competition with, or we have to appease, is, yeah, you're right, that's you, that's the only person. We can live with that, we can live with anybody else, right, and their opinion, and just agree to disagree. That's you, that's your jam, that's your your projection or whatever. I'm not going to take that. I'm standing in me, and we can agree to disagree. Or, if you come with love, then, like, I'll meet you there too. When we burn bright, by the way, there is a lot of contrast that happens. So, speaking of that contrast, if, we get some haters, let your haters be your motivators, by the way. They're drinking that haterade. We not on that. We drinking something different, right? We're drinking our water, right? With the flip side, if you have people that, once you burn really bright, you do regain your authority. This is a karmic new beginning for your soul. You may experience pushback. You may experience people closest to you, or society, or people you don't even know, because you're burning so bright, and you're reclaiming your power. This can create Uranus in Aries, right? That's the fighter in Aries, the warrior in Aries, like the what did you say in Aries. And so on the flip side, we are going to be developing discipline by refining anger in this area of life. Any shadows of selfishness, any impulsive or reactive behaviors, and cultivating more patience within this area of life. So in regards to our voice, in regards to our friends, in regards to what we say, also how we process things, how we look at things, perspectives. Our inner voice is a big one too. That inner voice, if that inner voice is, being a little bit negative or something like that, this is going to be where, if we get those impulsive thoughts, it's like we're going to be refining that, right? And like, whoa, slow down, refine, Saturn, work it out. We have to claim our authenticity. We have to claim our sovereignty. We have to claim our own inner authority. This truly is the karmic new beginning, with reclaiming your authority within your mind, and within your voice, and within your expression. And don't be surprised if you meet people who are shining the exact way in which you feel inspired to as well. All right, that being said, let's go ahead and you're very, very powerful. Your mind's very, very powerful. Whatever area of life we have Aries in is where we're powerful off the bat. The whole point of Saturn being there is, baby, we got to refine that. We got to refine that, because it could go from gold to a diamond like really, really quick. We're just going to apply the pressure. I promise you'll turn out a diamond. So, which is multicolored. It's got like every color when that hits the light. So, we will have explored as we refined, tapped into so much of our potential. Astro Dice. This is going to be important signs over your Saturn return / a message for you. Any confirmation or anything extra. Ooh, okay. So we have Moon in the second house, and we have Scorpio. So if you are connected to any Scorpios, or a Scorpio may be entering your life. And then we also have the second house, so we have Taurus. So this could be somebody who has like Scorpio, Taurus. It's really common to have the opposite signs in your top 3. So they could be like a Scorpio moon, Taurus rising. something like that. I would also say Cancer, because we do have the moon here. Emphasis on Taurus, like big emphasis on Taurus. I would even say, like, if anybody even has a Taurus degree moon, that could be important. Other than that, I feel like actually, like, as you express your feelings, your values are changing. I feel like your money could be really connected to how you feel. So when we feel better, like we cathartically express how we feel, like not like never being angry, by the way, like for example, a personal example, I think there's a certain amount of authority I have in my own voice, or that I could have, and just in my own mind. And some people may feel like intimidated by that, but if I don't express myself authentically and use like a nice voice, or, you know, afraid that I'm going to come off a certain way, that's not authentic. And I think this is when we're valuing our own power and just feeling like we're in our power so much more. And that is just giving us the freedom to express, but it's also going to bring us more money. That's what I see. Call it like I see it. Could also bring us new love too. Like the throat chakra for you specifically watching could be extremely powerful. I would like, if you ever get Reiki done or you get human design done, I would look at your throat chakra. It's really, really powerful. I have a very, very prominent in my human design throat chakra. So next sign, or I keep saying next sign, it's next house. So Aries, Saturn return in the 4th house. This is reclaiming authority, authenticity, gaining sovereignty in regards to your emotions, quite literally, your home life. You are the authority. The 4th house is the root of us, right? It's like when you're digging up a plant and you have to go to get to the root, right? People do construction on the sidewalk. That sidewalk is like, that sidewalk's crooked, right? And they have to drill down, you know, as above, so below, right? We got that 10th house, which is the highest peak in our chart. That's the tree. The tree, I mean, I have a little bit of a story time, quick story time. I used to live in another house with my family. We like grew up in a condo, and then we like rented for, I think, 1 year, and then we moved into a house in America. And at this rental place, my mom was like taking a shower, and like all this dirt was like coming from the drain, and she had no idea why. And somebody came out to look at it, and they said, yeah, that palm tree, that Seiko palm tree, which is in your front yard, the roots of that tree are just as long underneath. And my mom was like, it was just crazy to see how big this tree is. I live in California, so there's a lot of like palm trees, and just like how deep the roots go. So just as much as we perform, just as many goals that we have, I'm about to cook with this. Are y'all ready for this? I think I'm about to spit some bars right now. This is why we're called Moongang. Like, anyway, because I think that all astrologers are like rappers in their own right. And what I was about to say is, as many goals as you have, as much potential as you feel that you have just as much emotions that want to be felt. You have just as much of a nervous system that wants to be regulated. You have just as much safety that you yourself want to be surrounded with safe people, a safe place to live, a safe environment, a safe sanctuary, right? Just as much as we need the applause, we need quiet. Just as much as, you know, we go out there and we slay behind closed doors, we slay in public, we need that downtime behind closed doors. So this could be a time just in general where we could be going back to our hometown. We could be moving back in with our parents. We could be moving in with a partner. We could be living by ourselves for the first time. Where we live is going to be very, very, very important. Home. Who's home? Ohana. What is family mean to us? Karmic things with family could definitely come up. Maybe I think I might do a story time on my own personal Saturn return and how it shows up in my life and in my chart, because I have Saturn aspecting quite literally almost everything in my chart. So very cool there. I think we're becoming more confident, and it's coming from an authentic place, because the root of us is developing authenticity, confidence, and it's not going to be something that can be undone, by the way. Okay, so Saturn cannot go backwards. It's linear, right? So once we have cultivated results, that becomes our legacy, right? So then on the flip side, we have Saturn return in Aries in the 4th house, developing discipline. We are going to be refining anger. We're going to be refining shadows of selfishness. We are going to be refining impulsive or reactive behaviors and cultivating peace when it comes to our emotions, when it comes to our family, when it comes to our lineage, when it comes to generational karma, when it comes to our domestic life, how we run a household, and just our inner psychological foundation. Right? So this can also be connected to themes of motherhood. And so just kind of how it said, because there's a karmic new beginning for your soul to be the sole authority in your life. You have the sole authority, not a partner, not your parents, not your family, not your aunts, not like your ancestors, your family culture or anything like that, not defined by your hometown, not defined by where you place roots. You are your own root system, and we are rooting down into authority. We are rooting down into authenticity. We are rooting down into being a risk taker. And in the process, we are going to be releasing perhaps a lot of anger, maybe this is like we're learning how to be selfish in a way that is balanced. Versus we have a good amount of maturity and responsibility we taken on. So if we do kind of lean into a shadow because we didn't get to be impulsive children, we didn't get to be selfish children, we didn't get to express our anger, a lot of this could be being purged up to be released and refined. So that's exciting. And that's also part of honoring what you always deserved, which was just kind of a blank slate to feel safe. Your nervous system. This is a huge nervous system reset. So let's go ahead and roll the astro dice. The signs that come up will be the signs that will be surrounding you during your Saturn return, and just any extra confirmation or messages. So oh my gosh, I love this. This is like the baddest combo in astrology history. This would be like if I had to pick a character, I would pick this. Okay, so we have Sagittarius. So Sagittarians could be really big in your life. Scorpio, 8th house, really prominent person in your life. I would also say Pluto in Scorpio or Pluto in Sagittarius generation people playing a huge role within your life. This is very much like Ophiuchus energy, by the way, because Ophiuchus is right in between, it's near Scorpio, Sagittarius, the constellations. And this is like truly like a ruthless energy. And I don't want to hear anything about ruthless being bad. You know who had to be ruthless? Harriet Tubman. You know who had to be ruthless? Muhammad Ali. You know who had to be ruthless? Who's somebody else? Steve Carell. With his humor and his jokes. I mean, this is like, oh no, I know what I want. It's personal. I refuse to shrink. I refuse, right? So we do have that energy that I love. I do feel like we're full on going into our power. We are full on reaching for the sky. The sky is the limit. And everything we've learned on our journey thus far, good golly, is that personal. Like, I could just see Scorpio like, you want to watch the trailer of my life? Yeah, this is why I'm doing this for me, right? So I feel so hyped in this energy. Saturn return in Aries, moving through the 5th house. So we are going to be burning bright. and reclaiming our authority, our authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to our inner child, our talents, sexual energy, passion, feeling lighthearted. This is like really coming back to being a kid. This is really the trifecta of the fifth house, which is developing willpower to go on throughout life, based off of our own creativity, our own spirituality, or our own sexual energy, right? Feeling pleasured, feeling creative, feeling very spiritual, very light in our energy, right? Feeling really romantic. So I think all in all, this is amazing for getting revitalized. Just revitalized, feeling like we can, whatever we set out for, we're going to be able to do it because we are falling in love with life again. And the sky's the limit romantically, sexually, talent wise. It's awesome. And then we have, and being very fertile, right? That's also the fifth house. Because we're so potent, because we're so abundant, because, we have that good energy. And then on the flip side, we are going to be developing discipline. We're going to be refining anger, any shadows of selfishness, any impulsive or reactive behaviors, and cultivating more patience within the area of life that has to do with dating, that has to do with confidence, that has to do with expression, that has to do with pleasures of earth, as well as sexual wants and needs, and creative wants and needs, and spiritual wants and needs, right? So to me, this is kind of just like refining discipline around like hedonistic tendencies. This can be weeding out anyone who brings a lot of drama and chaos into our life, or anyone that's just really dampening the mood, like again and again, like throws off our groove, like, anything like that. And it could be that kind of like stars our inner child, right? That our inner child is really demanding what it wants, like to be seen, to take up space, to like connect with others and like create. And we're refining any impulsivity or just like any other area of life. We are very, very powerful creative wise. We are really, really powerful spiritually. I have a great capacity to feel pleasure. So this is a karmic new beginning for your inner child. We're discovering a lot of the potential that we have talent-wise, creatively. And let's go ahead and just roll your astro dice. This is going to be the signs that are going to be playing an important role over the next 2 years in your Saturn return, as well as any additional confirmation or messages. So, oh my gosh, you guys, we have the sun in the fifth house is Leo energy. So Leos could be very important. Aries could be very, very important with the first house. And Sagittarians could be very, very important. So literally all the fire signs. Ooh, I love it, which makes a lot of sense. You're activating a fire house. You got fire in a firehouse. That makes a lot of sense. So that being said, this is like expanding who you are and your own self-identity, your own creativity, and like starting new, like really shooting the arrow for the biggest dream ever. And I do think you're going to walk a new journey very, very confidently, and just be discovering ourselves, like allowing ourselves to shine so, so bright. And yeah, I love it. This is like a journey of like rediscovery or like self-discovery. Very, very powerful, very, very influential, very, very inspiring. So now let's do Saturn return in Aries through the sixth house. So Saturn return in Aries through the sixth house. We are going to be burning bright, reclaiming our authority, our authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to our everyday life, in regards to our reality. Right? This is a character, we're the character in our own video game. That is the sixth house. And so, if we've been working a job or waking up at a time or the way we eat, if it's just not being authentic to what we really crave, to what we want our life to look like, to kind of a romanticizing our life, like just really enjoying our reality. This could be a time where we're going to do just that. And we're going to be doing just that in terms of developing discipline, refining any anger, refining any shadows of selfishness, refining any impulsive reactive behaviors, and cultivating patience within our work life, within our relationship with productivity, within our relationship with our work ethic, within our self-discipline, within being able to be dedicated, whether that is to perfecting our daily routine, our skills, right? Being of service to others too. Like if there's any shadows of anger because we've like overserved, we've overworked, we've burnt out, or because there's a lack of productivity or a lack, we're going to be refining this. Right. And there may be like perhaps too, we've been too selfless. And so now we're going to develop some selfishness, right? No, I can't work that extra hour. No, I can't, let you borrow money. No, I can't lie for you. No, I can't, keep doing this, right? We're going to be pouring into ourselves. And just be more authentic and cultivating patience too. If sometimes, we may like skip steps because we're impatient. I think this is going to be a time too where, if we want the body, if we want the milestone of followers, if we want the nice car, then we are going to have to cultivate patience and consistency. This is a karmic new beginning for your soul because we are going to be discovering the new potential within what our reality can look like, as well as a karmic new beginning in terms of the life that you are living, right? So this is going to be a life lived for you, right? You will be the sole authority of how your day goes, your daily tasks, your chores, your work. There could be a lot of changes and switches in regards to that. So let's go ahead. And a pet could be coming into sixth house is very connected to pets, and pets really remind us like it's time to eat, right? Like I'm gonna go lay in the sun, I'm gonna go take a nap, it's time for bed, like they really do anchor us. So I'm gonna roll the astro dice. This is going to be specific signs that are going to be playing a major role in your Saturn return, as well as any extra confirmation or messages. So this is the third group in a row that has gotten Sagittarius. So Sagittarians are going to be playing an important role. By the way, I'm a Sagittarius moon. Not that it's me, but maybe your astrologer. I hope you consider me your astrologer. I think it's so cool when Dua Lipa says, I don't have a therapist, but I have an astrologer. We have Uranus, so Aquarius and Sagittarians. This is a lot of freedom too. I love this, but there's also a really specific message coming through with this. And then the 11th house, which is also Aquarius. So people with Aquarius or Sagittarius placements, you are expanding past what you thought was ever possible for you in regards to your own evolution, in regards to your own hopes and wishes. And I think you could be aligning yourself with people who are really going to inspire you and act as like a catalyst in your life. I think you could be getting like little shocks and little awakenings, like epiphany. Oh my gosh, realization, I could do this, I could evolve this way. And I think that it's going to be very, very inspiring. I think you're going to inspire yourself. This is like a me versus me energy. Okay, then the next sign, we have Saturn return in Aries moving through the 7th house. So my Libra risings, and if you just have it in the 7th house in Aries, we are going to be burning bright, reclaiming our authority, our authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to our relationships, right? So also our lifestyle and us as a partner and who we are in other people's lives and who we are in other people's stories. So if we have felt like, man, I really want to gain authority as a partner again. Like I really want to do things intentionally as a partner. I would love to be a really romantic person. I would love to be the person that makes plans. I would love to, this, that, and the other thing, support my people by showing up to their function, showing up to their pop-up, showing up for their work, their graduations, things like that. We're just reclaiming authority as who we are as a partner. And also knowing that we are the sole authority in the life that we are cultivating for ourselves, right? The lifestyle, right? So we could be developing discipline in this area of life so that we can live the dream lifestyle, have the partner or not, like, or the friends or the support or the right people, the right community, that where we feel at peace, where we feel like, yes, I am living a lifestyle that is true to me. We could be refining any anger. We could be refining any shadows of selfishness. We could be refining any impulsive or reactive behaviors and cultivating patience within our relationships, within our connections, within achieving our success in our dream lifestyle, right? So that one's pretty self-explanatory. I think we're just becoming a better person in our own life so that we cultivate the dream lifestyle, but then also as a character in other people's lives. This is a karmic new beginning for your soul in relationships, right? So picking the people that are true to you, we will be weeding out anybody who is not being the 5 people that are, that we hang out with. For example, that saying, the 5 people you hang out with most. Show me your friends, I'll show you who you are, or I'll tell you who you are. This is very much that. We're weeding out anybody who's just not fitting where we're going, like, or maybe who we're becoming, or who we're coming back to, even who we're rediscovering, right? So, and also that could be a fresh lifestyle. That could be a fresh, and I just saw 1 hour, 1 minute and 11 seconds when I said that. So I think you guys are definitely leaning into the karmic new beginning, your soul always wanting for yourself in terms of partners, people, lifestyle, success. This is also business too. So lots of powerful reclaiming what you really want there and discovering a lot of potential. I'm going to roll the astro dice. This is going to be people who are going to be playing an important role in your Saturn return, as well as any extra confirmation or messages. Okay, so we have Virgo. So Virgos could be playing an important role in your life during your Saturn return, a major role. Capricorns, we got Earth, right? So Capricorns or Virgos. And then if they do have a south node in Capricorn or a south node in Virgo, this can be the signs that are going to be playing a major role within your couple of years for your Saturn return. And then the energy that I get from this is actually, like, we could be letting go because we're getting really clear and really strict and very practical about the legacy that we want. So letting go of whatever is not leaning into the legacy. So when we think about, I always use the example of, I have an 8th house Mercury. So I talk about funerals and death like all the time. I think it's a really normal thing to talk about. But that's me always talking about astrology and, sexuality and the taboo. But I think about when we're at our funeral, who do we want to be remembered as? And that to me is like, who also do we want like showing up to our funeral? Like, who's our partner? Like, who are we going to have kids with? Like, this is really thinking about practically like, okay, yeah, this is going to work. And yeah, that's business wise, that's people wise, that's our own success and our partners. So the next sign, the next house, the next casa is the 8th house. So Saturn return in Aries in the 8th house. We are going to be burning bright, reclaiming our authority, our authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to our private life, in regards to our strategic abilities, in regards to our discerning abilities, in regards to our own personal power, our personal wants, our personal desires, our personal needs, our depth into true love, into sexual relationships, our sexuality, our relationship with intimacy, our ability to decipher, decode, being very strategic and what we're investing into, the things that we are investing into, the people, the investments, right? Wherever we're investing our time and energy, we're reclaiming. It's got to be authentic if we're going to invest in it. It has to allow me to be the main authority in my life. No codependency, right? It has to allow for me to be sovereign, right? And so if there are entanglements, we've merged emotionally, mentally, sexually with somebody, and it is just not working out, we're not showing up as our authentic self, or it's not true to us, it's got to go. Any investment, so like crypto or stocks or a house, like if we're house poor, if we're not seeing a return in our investments, it's all right to take risks, start over, right? Or even to make investments. If we met somebody, we're like, dang, I think they're the one. Like, I could see this person in my life, like next to me, riding with me. Or, you know what? I think it's time to, like, this house, we got an offer, and like, you know, or I really want to live in that neighborhood. I really want to invest into this side hustle. I really want to, you know, like protect my peace, protect my privacy. You know, let go of things, like let a part of this die, like a part of me, a cycle, a investment, you know, let it go, and let's phoenix, let's rise, let's shine in our power. I refuse to play small. There's anything that we feel very personal about, allowing for that passion to come through, allowing that authenticity to come through. Especially in intimacy, we're going to tell people how we feel. We're going to choose to trust again. We're going to, you know, whatever type of love we want, whether we want love or not, you know, just remaining authentic. And of course, like, I mean, love exists everywhere. Just like at this point of our life, like, you know, is it best for us to be in a relationship? Like, for example, it reminds me of that song. I think it's We Can't Be Friends, and Ariana Grande says at the very end, I think something along the lines of like, maybe this time it's only me, and maybe that's all I need. So, you know, this can be too, like, choosing ourselves, right? It is a lot around choosing ourselves. It's going to be up to you and your situation, obviously, making that call. But yeah, this is definitely a lot of power. This is also like not apologizing for our dark feminine energy, for being authoritative, passionate, persuasive, provocative, mysterious. Whatever the people think about us is not our issue, right? We got to worry about ourselves and the things that we invested into. We could be developing a lot of discipline by refining anger, refining any shadows of selfishness, refining any impulsive or reactive behaviors, and cultivating peace within the area of life of our assets, our shadow self, our investments, our private life behind closed doors, right? This is a karmic new beginning for true or how do I want to say this? Like exploring your full depth and then emanating that on purpose. And like letting whoever's going to misunderstand us, letting people projections just slide right off of us. And yeah, I guess living life a little bit more intentionally, right? About where we're spending our energy, who we're letting into our energy, things like that. And yeah, just a karmic new beginning for you, for discovering your full spectrum of power. Like, we are powerful romantic. Let's just go for that, right? And express that. If we are powerful in terms of business deals, let's tap into that, right? Our shadows, you know, I love when people use their shadows in like, in business, or like behind closed doors, or like, you know, helping random people. And like a shadow is like, hey, you're going through a hard moment, I'll meet you there. Or like, you know, oh, you're coming with a certain amount of energy, I'll match you, I'm not afraid, right? And it doesn't have to be cocky, it doesn't have to be manipulative, it doesn't have to be any shadow. It's great when we can use like tap into our authority, our persuasiveness, our mysteriousness and like use that to our advantage in a way where we remain in power. Lots around self-control. All right, so let's go ahead and I think this is also too, like the more we invest in ourselves, the more that we're going to make great choices and investments. So these astro dice are going to represent the people that are going to be playing a major role within our Saturn return. So their signs, as well as any extra confirmation. So rolling the dice, we have the ninth house. So we have Sagittarians playing a big role. We have Pisces playing a big role. And we have Saturn. So Capricorn's playing a big role. Capricorn, Pisces, and Sagittarius. Also, if somebody has Saturn in Sagittarius or Saturn in Pisces, perhaps like somebody just got done with their Saturn return and they're in your life. So what I see here also too is we're believing in different things, right? Like I think that we're really changing our beliefs, and this could be leaning to new paths and luck and expansion, and also like believing in like that anything is possible, anything can happen, in love, in like unconditional love as well. But we're also going to be laying down really, really big boundaries too. So boundaries are actually going to lead to more freedom and more abundance in our life. All right, then we have, I didn't mean to do like ASMR into the microphone if that got picked up. We have Aries Saturn return through the ninth house. So we could be burning bright and reclaiming authority, authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to our belief systems. 100% in regards to faith, religion, right? This can also be in regards to what we believe is possible for ourselves. Could be karmic new beginning for a karmic new beginning, quite literally. And I saw 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 13 seconds. 13 is a very, very independent number, right? It's a really, really powerful number alongside 111. So that being said, this could be a karmic new beginning that perhaps in previous lifetimes we didn't get to like 100% live our authentic life, like in terms of like travel, in terms of like believing what's possible for ourselves, like manifesting more for ourselves and exploring and just having a lot more available to us in terms of potential within our life path, within that journey that is our story. One of the ways we're going to be doing this is developing discipline within this area of life. So, you know, our beliefs, like if we have negative beliefs, that could be getting disciplined and refined. Any impulsive or reactive behaviors, and cultivating patience too within this area of life. So when it does come to manifestation and faith and belief, right? Sometimes there is delayed gratification right there. And if we pray for money, do you think the universe is going to give us money right away on our door? Maybe, sometimes. But I do think a lot of times too, gives us the opportunity to make money, right? And by cultivating faith, we'll kind of be guided towards what is for us, right? And, you know, once we try new things, I think trying new things is really big here. Like if we've been angry, like if we have that anger, I think that faith is going to, and just like elevating our consciousness, you know, and getting out of the negative vibes, or like any boundaries that aren't serving in terms of what our potential is, we're going to be breaking through those. Like we're going to be breaking through obstacles there and allowing ourselves to enjoy the unknown of what's possible. Let's go ahead and roll the astro dice. So this is going to be important signs that are going to be playing an important role or a major role within your Saturn return over the next 2 years, and or any additional confirmation or messages. Back up. All right. So let's get comfy. Okay. We have Mars. So Aries could be playing a significant role. And then we have Gemini. So Geminis could also be playing a significant role. And then we also have the fifth house. So this is Leo. and Leos could be playing a big role. So Aries, Leos, and Geminis. Honorary if somebody has Leo Mars or a Gemini Mars. And what I see here is very much that, like opening our perspectives and like going towards what's fun, like going towards creativity, going towards what's fun, like doing things just for fun. I see. And I think friends too, like who we hang out with along our journey, and like, yeah, just opening our perspectives, being more lighthearted, learning more about things that are fun for us could lead to new beginnings. Hello, Aries Saturn return through the 10th house. We are going to be burning bright, reclaiming authority, authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to our career, in regards to our reputation, in regards to our popularity, in regards to our public persona, our public image. This can also be towards our goals, towards the income with our career, towards our potential, towards our legacy that we are leaving behind. And this is a karmic new beginning to explore your potential in a way which we did not get to in the previous lifetime connected to this one. So that being said, this could be career changes. This could be more money. This could be different goals. This could be more authentic goals, a more authentic reputation, like you showing up who you really are when it comes to in public, like with the way you dress, or if you interact with people, like lots of people, or even in the roles, significant roles that you play in the lives of other people, or the role you're playing in your own life, like with your job, or, you know, you're influencer, or you're a coach, you're a dad, you're a husband, you're a wife, you know, you're a sister, you're, you know, a friend. Like, this is really reclaiming authority over the legacy we want to leave behind. Like, who do we want to be remembered as? What did we do? What did we accomplish? Were we able to provide? Did we have stability? What was our reputation like? So we're just going to be becoming a lot more authentic and a lot more sovereign, which I love. So this could be a karmic new beginning career-wise. It's going to be a karmic new beginning with being seen on a grand scale as well, which is exciting. And then we are also going to be developing discipline, refining any anger. So if we have any like anger about like maybe like being seen, or like that drives our motivations to pursue goals, which is not bad. We want to do it for us, right? And so that's like reclaiming the authority. Like, I'm the sole authority. This is the legacy I want to choose to live. I don't want to become a doctor just because my parents want me to. I don't want to date that person just because they're pressuring me to, and my you know, everyone loves them. Like, this can be, I don't want to be known as the pushover. I don't want to be known as the hard worker, like whatever projections that people put onto us. It's like, no, that is not authentic to who I am anymore, or where I'm going, or who I really am after all. And so I love that energy. That energy is awesome. And then just developing the patience to follow through on our goals, on what we set our mind to. Next, we're going to be rolling the dice. These are going to be important signs or prominent or signs that are playing a prominent role within your Saturn return, and or any extra confirmation or messages. We have Leo. We have Leo right there. So Leos could be playing a significant role. We do have Jupiter, Sagittarians, honorary Pisces, Pisces and Sagittarius, and then Pisces again with the 12th house. So we're seeing Pisces, Leo, and Sagittarius energies could be prominent. Also, if they have Leo in the 12th house, or Jupiter in the 12th house, or Jupiter in Leo, could be significant, or Jupiter in Pisces. What I see here is like an expansion of your star power, and we're really having like an activation of your past life gifts, which I love. Like, talents and gifts are really, really coming through. This is like a new star power coming from deep within. We're removing subconscious blocks, aka slaying our fears to go towards our desires. This is a lot around being seen like on a massive level too. And I think people are going to see you, like, because the 12th house is very transparent. So love that. Next, we have Saturn return in Aries, making a return in your 11th house. Welcome. You are going to be burning bright and reclaiming your authority, authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to your own evolution. This is also going to show up in the people that you're friends with, in the communities that you're investing in, and who you're meeting, who is being brought into your life. These are going to likely be people we were karmically meant to meet, as well as soul family members that are there to remind us that there are people that see us, that there are people that understand where we're going, that there are people who understand what we're about. No matter how much we evolve along our journey, there will always be new faces and new people that will align with where we are at. So, the 11th house is the careful what you wish for because you might just get it house. This is also the income we make from our purpose. So y'all could already be in your purpose, and now we could be finding new income revenues and aligning with the right people. The right doors are going to open for us. We could also be refining any shadows of selfishness in regards to like our dreams and wishes, right? It's like when people wish on like the genie bottle, right? And like Genie has like told Aladdin, like, man, you wouldn't believe like what these people used to wish for, right? So it's like the higher good of all. I would say like weeding out any friends, honestly. I think that this mostly has to do with weeding out anybody that we know is not assisting in our evolution. However, also really riding loyal for the people who do choose us, who evolve next to us, who have space to who leave space for us to evolve, right? And then let's go ahead and this is a karmic new beginning, by the way, in regards to like whatever you wish and whatever you want, you can quantum leap to that timeline. Like there's so much potential here, like infinite potential. Let's go ahead and roll the astro dice. This is going to be important signs during your Saturn return and or additional messages or confirmation. So we have Capricorn and Aquarius. So Aquarius and Capricorn placements. We have Aquarius again. And we have the 7th house. Yeah, so I had a feeling this had to do with people a lot. It's going to be the people you're surrounded with, weeding out so that we can quantum leap. And when we quantum leap, we're going to see, like, if we quantum leap timelines, new people are going to show up, or new people are going to show up, and then we're going to quantum leap. So that's what I feel like. Finding balance, I think, within the relationships in our life too. And this even can be like friends to lovers situation that I'm feeling. Like long-term potential with a relationship could be happening too. And friends for life, we could be developing, discovering, reuniting with. Last but not least, we have Saturn return in Aries in the 12th house. Welcome you. Last but not least, oh my gosh, I'm very excited. All right. We are going to be burning bright, reclaiming authority, authenticity, and gaining sovereignty in regards to our energy, in regards to our mind, in regards to our daydreams, our visions, our beliefs, ourselves, really, like, are on a spiritual level. This reminds me of like clearing ourselves spiritually, like enlightenment, like letting go, the art of detachment. This is really like through, like, honestly what it is, we're burning bright in regards to our desires. We are like unapologetically moving towards our desires and slaying our fears, like very, very much big time. Any blocks that we have had in terms of a cap of what's available to us, like we are just moving past that. We're like, you know what? If there's a will, there's a way. And my visions are powerful. I'm going to say, yes, that's authentic to me. That is my authenticity. That's what I want. And I have sovereignty in regards to, I can go after that. Nobody can stop me. And then we're going to be developing discipline by letting go of anger. We could be letting go of selfishness. We could be letting go of impulsive behaviors or reactive behaviors. We could be letting go of not having the patience to follow through on things, or not having the patience to allow things to grow to where we can move forward, right? So I definitely think too, there could be like a lot of just subconscious like things, because when we don't deal with things, they go to the 12th house. When we hide that we ate that cookie, that goes to the 8th house, right? When we just shut the door because we don't want anyone to see that cookie, that's the 4th house. So, you know, anything that we've pushed aside will be coming up. I think a lot could be happening through dreams, like a lot of your real desires. And like once you dream about something, I feel like we process it, right? That's like our subconscious, our higher self being like, you're ready to like let this go, or you're ready to see this thing. And we're not going to be able to ignore the truth. This is a karmic new beginning of authentically going after our desires and slaying our fears. Love, 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 love. And it's anything you desire, anything. Pisces is delusional. Delulu is the Salulu, the Saturn return. These are the astro dice. We're going to be rolling these and getting the important people during your Saturn return, and or messages or extra confirmation. I love it. I love it. That's like a love punch. We have Leos. Leos are going to be playing an important role. We have Aquarians are going to be playing an important role. Man, talk about people who live by their own rules and live for themselves. Then we also have Cancer. Which Cancers are really good at psychologically moving through things, through processing it through their feelings, right? So I do think that like you're evolving a lot emotionally, and this could be a little bit more of an emotional year, but do know, as a Cancer who, you know, I'm moon ruled and my moon is next to Pluto, I feel extremely intensely, like I always have. I cry almost every day. And it's in the 12th house. Like, let it go. Like, you know, it's like if you don't burp, then you might have like, you know, like bubble gut, and it's like, who wants that? Like, who wants shit just sitting inside of them? Nobody, right? And I'm sorry if this is a little graphic. I'm a Sagittarius moon and a Leo Mercury in the 8th house. I do dark humor. I don't know what you want from me. Just, you know, truly like detaching, letting things go. If we've been carrying too much, if when we introspect, there's a lot we've been holding on to, heartbreak or disappointments or guilt or shame or whatever, it's time to let it go. Let it go. And not only that, like once we feel that high of cathartically releasing, of alchemizing, there's going to be a light, and I feel like there's going to be quantum leaping where we're going to try new things. We're going to like, this is kind of reminding me of like F around and we'll find out, in terms of, no, your desire is possible. You want your soulmate, like that's always what you wanted, and you're getting disappointed, or you have been disappointed by people. You know, like let's stop trying to find somebody that reminds us of that person. Let's find somebody who's like us, right? Or in a lot of ways, like let's find something new. Let's go and let that go. Like let go of like the car that, you know, yes, there's a history with that, and yes, it was part of our journey, but we got to sell that in order to get the new car, the one that we want, the one that we deserve, right? Or mental peace. This is also like changing perspectives and clearing out things emotionally to find more mental peace. The inside of our mind could be a heaven. And I do think that tapping into spiritual practices, and cathartically just releasing a lot allows for new to come in and our energy to be a lot lighter. as well. So that is everything that I do have in this video. I really tried to knock them out speed round. So just thank you guys so much for watching. Look, Saturn and Aries, not for the weak. However, we're so powerful. This is why I focused on burning bright, developing discipline. It's a karmic new beginning for you in a certain area of your life. Good luck, everybody. Do not let the pressure of Saturn allow you to believe that you are not becoming a diamond, right? We are already in diamond form. We are already and I'm like, it's so funny, I actually see a rainbow like on my walls. I'm talking about this. You can see like the light that's like shining through. Like, we are developing being a diamond. So, and who doesn't want diamonds? There's a lot of controversy behind diamonds, so I'm not even gonna go into that. But if you ask a woman, there's a lot of controversy with that too, but I'll just do it for fun. You ask a woman if she wants gold or diamonds, why wouldn't we want diamonds, right? Like, and that's just like the deservingness of Aries. Why not me? If somebody else can have it, so can I. And the only person that we care about authority most is not outside of ourselves, right? Is us. And then we can take into account others, but we got to get right with ourselves first. We got to get right. So thank you. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in another video.